again, and this week in science, we are going to dye our eggs naturally. Usually, my sons would go to the store and buy an Easter egg dyeing kit, or maybe we'd use some food coloring and some vinegar and some hot water to dye our eggs. This year, we thought it would be fun to try some natural things that we had around the house. We're gonna use some blackberries, some turmeric, and we're gonna use beets, both the bold and the greens, and see what colors we get out of this. We also have some mason jars to put our eggs in once the dye is made. We have our hard-boiled eggs all ready to go. And we have our trusty vinegar. I know we've spelled it several times this year. Each time everybody said it reminds them of dyeing Easter eggs. So here we are. I also have some white crayons because you could use your white crayons and write something on your egg before you dip it in the dye, and the dye won't take on that area. Other things you could use is you could wrap string around your eggs, or you could go out in the garden and find a fun leaf or a flower and wrap your egg in cheesecloth before you put it in the dye. Okay, so now we are going to chop up our vegetables. So we now have everything all chopped up fine. Here are our blackberries all muddled and smushed. And we're now gonna put them in a pot with about 4 cups of water, and we're gonna boil them for 30 minutes to get as much dye out of the vegetables and fruit as we can. And then we'll move on to our next step. Hi, we're back again here. And so now I have boiled all of our vegetables up and our turmeric, and I've strained the liquids into mason jars. This is our beets. This is the turmeric. These are our blackberries. And this is the top of the beets. We're gonna make our experiment a little further. We have white vinegar or salt. Some of these will have salt and some of them will have white vinegar. And we'll see if that makes any difference into what we're dyeing. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon of salt to the containers that I have marked with a nice glittery rhinestone. And then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of vinegar to the ones that are not marked. And then we're going to stir them up and dunk our eggs in them. The longer our egg stays in, the more color it's going to take. Okay, let's take a break here and we'll get to dyeing. So this is the first batch of our finished product. As you can see, we did get some pretty colors out of this. The ones on the left were the salt eggs. The ones on the right are the ones in vinegar. These were the turmeric eggs. This was the top of the beets. This was the beets. These were the blackberries. And this is an example of what you can do with a crayon. We do have one more batch of eggs that we're going to leave in the dye for a long period of time and see what happens to them.